Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. That is the call: to build, not to break, to transform, not to seek to undermine or sabotage. We have our work cut out for us to build this place, to transform this place, to make it better for our children and children. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, another opportunity that you and I have to talk about the good things that are taking place in our communities, in our country. We must have a meaningful engagement looking at those things. We have grown accustomed to negativity. Every time you turn on the news, they highlight the negative stuff. On many of the talk show programs, it's all about the negative, because that is what we know, not the positive. You have colleagues, you have family members, they would do plenty good things. You would not recognize them, you would not applaud them, you would not thank them, you would not show appreciation. But the minute time they do one thing that's bad, the minute time they slip up or make some mistake, you want to crucify them, you want to chastise them, because that is how they grow us. That is how they craft us. We have to break away from that to recognize the good things that are happening in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. In fact, today I went to St. George's and I was in a particular business establishment, and a gentleman said, "But wait, you Kem Jones?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Boy, only today he and his friend was discussing passing by, because he came from overseas, passing by with his other friend who came from overseas to say hello." And he said something to me that stuck. He said he decided to come back home to build a home, right? Build a house, a vacation house, because he's living in the United States, in Florida, right? I think Portland, Florida. And he wants to build a vacation home. So when he comes, he can relax, he can, his children and so on. And he told me the reason why he decided to do that is because of the change of government. And he's excited about Grenada's prospect, right? The future. And he says, look, he's not young anymore, but he's doing this because he has children and he loves the direction that the country is going and the team of men and women who are governing this country. He said he gave up on Grenada many, many years ago. He decided he's not coming back home. But he said, nah, he had to come back home. He said tears came to his eyes during the independence celebrations. And as he went around the country, mixing and mingling and feeling the pulse of the people, he was very, very moved. So he decided to come back and build. But I am saying all of this to say that is what we have to do, to build Grenada. Make this place better for our children and children. And some people underestimate the love that our people have for our country, because, the NNP was there and they were ruthless, reckless, They were squandering nearly everything around. They were mismanaging nearly everything around. Every Monday morning you hear about some convestor con the NNP administration and run away with millions. I mean, it was just bad news, bad news, bad news, bad news. So people lose hope, right? They just didn't want to come back, didn't want to return to do anything here because they saw this place as just going downward under the NNP administration, under the Keith Mitchell-led administration. But the hope has been, renewed. We are hopeful again. We are optimistic again about the future of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. But we have a lot of Grenadians, home and abroad, who are very patriotic. They want good things for this country. And when you are overseas, in the United States, in Canada, in the United Kingdom, in Trinidad, let's say other parts of Europe, you really look forward to hearing something good about your country, to hear something happening in your community. In fact, I read a post from someone living in the diaspora. So she saw a news clipping and she said, I am happy that something is happening in my community now. The government is doing something there in her community. And she's happy. People are happy when they hear good news, good things happening in their community, in their village, in their constituency, right? We want good things for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. We have been longing for that. We want good community centers, good playing fields, lit, right? We want good medical stations. We want good roads. We want jobs and opportunities for our people to come to our people. So let me start off by highlighting two very good news for the people of Northeast St. George. The Honorable Ron Redhead is working extremely hard. Some people underestimate his drive. Many people underestimate his desire to see better in his constituency. And I said, when people were talking all kind of nonsense, right? Well, Ron going to study now, and Ron wouldn't be able to this, and Ron wouldn't be able to that. And I said, joke you're making? I said, now you would see the man. I said, no self you will be hearing and seeing more things happening in your constituency. He's there with you throughout. So many activities and things, projects and programs, things are happening in the Northeast.
Since assuming office in 2022, Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast, Honorable Ron Redhead, supported by members of his government, has given a commitment to prioritize the upgrade of playing fields within his constituency, to include that of the Vendome playing field. The upgrade of the playing field includes construction of underground French drains, box drains, along the perimeter of the field and installation of a cricket turf. During a site visit with GIS on Thursday, MP Redhead said ongoing work on the playing field is now 85% complete. The upgrade, he says, forms part of government's plan to improve several facilities across the country.
We still have some box drains that we'll do at the front section of the field to ensure that it could control the amount of water that would run off and it does not go into the road. We are also completing the construction of the pitch and reintroducing it back to this playing field. So cricket is something that we want to reintroduce to the community and by and large the wider community and village of the Northeast. So the field is 85% completed, and this field sparks the commencement of major upgrade work in a number of facilities throughout Vendome to ensure that the people of Vendome have access to facilities both from a sporting level and also community development level and schools level that they can access and utilize to the best of their abilities.
He says some adjustments were made to the original design, and as a result, two significant changes were made.
One, we had to redesign certainly the original scope. We had to go over that because the extent of the work that was required really required us to go deep into the ground to be able to fix and remove all of the old soil that could potentially cause the problem to reoccur. So we got that out of the way, and we have been able to introduce or construct French drains in a particular pattern which would be able to have the water run out. The other thing that we are doing is to raise the height of the field so that the water and the runoff could be able to happen much faster and does not sit and accumulate and create the pond-like effects that we normally get. So this was something that took tremendous work, but nonetheless we anticipated it to finish in April. But nonetheless, we give or take, we're 2 weeks off, and we are satisfied that it was worth the extent, and we are going to be happy at the end of the day when the field is completed. Originally was 96 or 97,000 was the original amount that we were anticipating to spend based on the amount of work that had to be done. But as I mentioned, we had some challenges when we proceeded. But nonetheless, we want to place on record the thanks to the National Lotteries Authority. They played a very pivotal role in ensuring that we kept in line and stay within budget as much as possible, and to ensure that the resources in some instances came a little late, but certainly was very sufficient and timely to be able to get the job done.
Discussions are also ongoing for the refurbishment of the community center that sits on the compound.
We've already received 2 proposals from contractors to do the upgrade with the community center. The community center essentially was built not so much by contractors but people in the area. And it was a government project many years ago, started under the late the Honorable George Brizan. But it needs some repairs right now, and it's in a state similar to the school was, and as such we have already received the proposals. We have sent it to the relevant authorities. We have spoken to the financial people who would give the assistance. We even spoke to some of our donors, that is partners like ambassadors, so to speak, to give assistance, which they indicated once upon completion they will give laptops, computers, that sort of thing to outfit the community center and restore it back to what it should be really used for.
Refurbishment work was also done on the Vendam RC School and the Hard Court.
Right, so yeah, so that's the Honorable Ron Redhead there. No surprise, he has always been dedicated to his constituency, his constituents. You see, what Ron is up against is a money machine within his constituency. Even if the opposition forces lost in the Northeast, they still have money that they can use to seek to cause problems, in my belief, undermine this goodly gentleman. So they have been trying since the election to now, but they have not been successful. They have not been successful. And that is why there was this, hullabaloo and all the attacks on the goodly gentleman, because the opposition forces there, they have the money and they would constantly be going at him. But I'm happy that he's remaining focused and he's delivering to the people of the Northeast. I really love that. And we're going back in the Northeast as it relates to the Annadale. You remember the Willis Annadale situation there? We were going back there with the Honorable Ron Redhead.
Work on the construction of 2 bridges along with gaps and curb walls are soon to recommence in the Annadale-Willis area. That's according to Parliamentary Representative for St. George Northeast constituency Honorable Ron Redhead. He spoke with the GIS during a site visit on Thursday. The project has been on hold for some time due to design issues and financial challenges by the contracting company. MP Redhead says to find the right solution to resolve the many issues facing the project, a walkthrough was held with officials from the Ministry of Infrastructure and the contractor. The completion of the construction of the bridges and the road network is of critical importance to government and residents.
To ascertain what are some of the low-hanging fruits that we would decide on and prepare the scopes of works for them, get them done so that we could deal with some of the pavement and deal with the bigger problem, which is the bridge right here, and to be able to resolve this problem once and for all so that residents and pedestrians and commuters could be able to pass in peace.
Parliamentary Representative Redhead says on May 3rd, the Ministry of Infrastructure is expected to provide an update as to the findings as a result of the walkthrough and meetings held with the contractor, as well as the identification of all subcontractors who will be engaged by government to have the work completed.
On Friday of this week, we are going to ensure that we get the update from the Ministry of Works. They will provide us with the updated scopes of works to finish people's driveways, gaps, etc. The next step would be to identify all of the subcontractors, and the government of Grenada will take on the responsibility to liaise with them through the original contractor and to ensure that this work of people's gaps, driveways, are all completed within the shortest possible time.
The redesigning of the scope of work and addressing an emerging sewer issue in the area was also addressed.
That's a critical part of it. We expect that to be more long-term in terms of the entire project, because the challenge that we had from day one, which was reported, is that the designs did not supply specific measurements. So often things were done, which in my view, if you don't have the measurement, I don't know why you dug it up, but things were done and unfortunately helped to create the overall challenge that we are faced with. I think what is good is that so far we've made good on our promise to ensure that we resolve this problem. So the sewage problem higher up the road, which occurred throughout the commencement of this phase of the project, we were able to resolve that completely. We are in the process to work with the private landowner to ensure that we repair the septic tank completely so that you would not have a relapse of this problem. And I want to thank the private sector, Southern Waste, which assisted us greatly to be able to resolve this matter at a speedy time.
The first order, according to Parliamentary Representative Redhead, will be to have the gaps and curb walls and box drains completed, then revert to the 2 bridges.
Right. So again, kudos, and I love Ron's modesty and humility. He's expressing thanks to the people who are making this possible, who are assisting to resolve this. You know, during the NNP time in power, we never used to hear them say thanks or thank you, right? To the people who actually played a part in many, many things in the country. They were just about themselves. So I really love to see that, you know, they're acknowledging that our beloved Prime Minister, he has always demonstrated that, always expressing thanks and appreciation to the people who are helping to make things happen in many different aspects here in Grenada, right? With programs, projects, and so on. And look, I say to people, you hear some NNP supporters and haters of progress saying, well, Keith coming back or the NNP coming back and so on. And then when you engage them further and you say, but what would cause them to come back? That is the big question. Because you have a government now in power who is fixing those playing fields within the different communities, fixing the community centers within the different communities, fixing the basketball courts and tennis courts and netball courts within the different communities, fixing the schools, building new schools within the different communities, fixing the roads within the different communities. You have a government who is heavy on eradicating pit latrines by providing indoor bathroom and toilet facilities, right? You have a government who understands that internet, access to internet is key in this day and age, and thereby partnered with Flow to provide internet, also a device, right? And training for about 1,500 families, right? You have now a title deed program, a title deed program for Crown lands, providing a title, plan and deed, right? Plan and deed for people who have been occupying Crown lands for a very long time. So now they can get themselves straightened out, right? To have title to the land. You have pension that was paid, pension and gratuity paid. and these are things that are very important, very, very important. The dock salaries paid, minimum wage went up, salaries of ordinary people went up here in Grenada, right? The regularization of public officers, that's taking place as we speak. TAMCC workers and so on, they got their money after years of protesting and so on. So we are seeing things happening. right? New doctors hired, the teaching hospital, that the lands have been identified, paid for, and so on for that. So we're moving in that particular direction. The economy is doing well, right? Realizing growth year in, year out. Jobs are being created in the construction industry, the tourism industry. The spice replanting program is happening. You know, things are happening for our people. Things are happening for our people. So I am asking, what would cause NNP to come back into power, right? What would cause them to come back? The free hot meal program for the kids, the free tuition program at TAMCC and NULO. A lot of scholarships are being given to our young people. The creatives, 100% concession. We had the tax amnesty that gone there. We have scholarships for creatives at TAMCC. They're given assistance in many different areas. I'm asking, in other words, there are people who will speak, but if you have a government who is performing well, who's delivering well, what then do you vote for? And that's the question, you know. What then do you vote for? Do you vote for a man? Do you vote for a party? What do you vote for? Development? Transformation? What do you vote for? That's the big question, you know. Because there are people who will vote for a man. They like a man, and they're voting for that man. But I am saying we are growing older. We are becoming more mature, right? We have to vote for country. Development is taking place. Opportunities are being created in Carriacou. Night landing is being pursued. The tax that our Caracunians, well, Grenadians, but you know, we call them Caracunians and Petit Martinicans, they were paying from Grenada to go up to Carriacou. That was removed. They get in that new fish market in Windward. We see roads, so many roads in Carriacou built. The hospital upgraded, renovated. Opportunities. They have a vet now on island. They have a doctor, and I think it's a doctor or two on island. So more and more things are happening for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, right? Things are happening. They're going to be constructing a jetty so that the people from Petit Martinique, you know, they don't have to get wet in a kind of waiting area. So things are happening for them. 2,000 feet, is it 2,000 feet of roads in Petit Martinique? You know, and we can go on and on. Roads here in Grenada, left, right, and center, right? I am simply saying to these people, well, what will cause NNP to ever come back in power? I really want to know, you know, because that's a very simple question. You hear those NNP, you know, goons, zygotes, and sycophants from time to time beating their chest. They coming back and they go come back, and the NNP cannot even call a convention. They cannot even organize a general council. That party is a mess. It's a wreck. It's in chaos, right? It's a sinking ship. But still you hear them talking. I don't know if it would boost the ego or if it would give them some kind of confidence. I don't know. But the evidence on the ground does not match up, right? Does not match up to the real reality. The reality out here is that Grenadians are happy with this administration and they are going very well thus far. And we have to encourage them. We have to applaud them. And look, I'm not saying that they're perfect, you know. And most Grenadians agree they're not perfect, but they are doing a very good job. They are trying their best. So I am urging our people to remain focused, understand the mission, and we have to become more mature. You cannot just like a party or like a man. You can't. Yes, it has to be more than that. You have to like your country first and foremost. And if good things are happening for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, you have to be on board. You have to applaud it. You have to support it. Right? That is what you want for your country. Not a man and some party, and you know, you listen to some of these people. You just take some time and you listen to some of these NNP supporters and you ask them, but NNP was in power for 23 years and a half. What have they really done for you, your community, your constituency? Because most of those supporters, they're still stuck in poverty. They're still stuck one way. They have not moved. They have not improved over the period of time. They have not. And I'm being honest, I'm being real with you here. You just go into any community and do an evaluation. Check them out. But still, they support NNP. And you ask them, why you're still in this predicament? Why are you in this position still? You have not grown. You have not developed. You have not transformed. Why? After 23 years and a half of your party being in power. And that is why I have been speaking to the NDC, saying to them, our supporters must be prioritized from time to time. We have to lift our supporters from where they are to a better place, right? Yes, we have to help the others too. We have to. We have to help the others and so on. But you want to look back 10 years down the road or 15 years down the road and say, well, look, you've moved from where you are to a next place as a supporter of the NDC, as a supporter of this government. That's important. Very, very important. Very important. So we have to understand, if you're supporting a party, the party is doing good for the country, improving the country, improving your community, making things better, you need to support that. You need to be on board with that. You cannot just be, for your party or for an individual and you don't care. If the individual mash up the thing, you deal with that person and that's it. No, it has to be more than that. It has to be more than that. Grenada comes first. We have to develop this place. We have to better this place. And as a result, our people will move up and up and up. Because once Grenada improves or is transformed or developed, then our people will develop too, right? So I want to again say to you, wherever you are, things are happening, good things are happening for our people. And as we go towards 2 years of NDC being in power, I can guarantee you that for a week or two, I will show you how the NDC has been able to transform the lives of our people step by step by step. I will look at the workers of the nation, and what has happened for them. I will look at the ordinary man, the poor, the vulnerable. I will tell you what has happened for them. I will look at communities, highlighting some of the key things that happen in those communities. I will look at the government, the performance of the government altogether. Look, I'm not telling you that all the ministers are doing what they're supposed to do, because there are some constituencies, people are not totally happy with the minister or the MP for that area, while they're happy with the government and the performance of the government and the performance of the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, our beloved Prime Minister. They're not happy with the representation that they're getting from one or two of those members of parliament. I am not naive to make you think that I don't know that. I know. I'm fully aware, but the government is doing well. They are doing well, and we have to applaud them, and we have to push them to go the extra, right? Because our people are loving it. Our people are loving it. The most honorable Deacon Mitchell, he's the minister responsible for transportation, and he intends to tackle that head on in the coming days.
There are some short-term issues we need to address. The St. George's bus terminus is run by the Grenada Port Authority. The Port Authority's specialty is not bus or public bus transportation. And I think we all know this has been a strain on their own human capacity. We have the Success bus terminal and the St. Andrews bus terminal, the Bremer bus terminal, both of which, Mr. Speaker, are not ideally be managed. We intend, and we've already started those engagements with the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Infrastructure, the Grenada Port Authority, to in fact have these terminals vested in the Transport Commission so that we can begin the process of really addressing the management of the terminals and public transportation. So that's one of the short-term issues we will seek to quickly address, Mr. Speaker. The second issue, as we are aware, there are some parts of the island that are grossly underserved as a result of the fact that we have private owners and operators providing a public good, which is public transportation. So places like St. Patrick and St. Mark suffer a lot as a result of that. So you see, Mr. Speaker, sometimes from any time from when you have 26, there's significant overcrowding at the bus terminal, particularly for persons who have to get to that part. If you go on the carriage, you will also see massive crowds gathered at the carriage waiting to get a bus to go on the Eastern Flag safely. So, Mr. Speaker, we've begun the engagement with the Bus Owners Association. We wish to encourage the actual formalization and the creation of a legal entity that actually is the National Bus Owners Association, so that all of the bus owners can belong to this association, so that it becomes easier for the government to treat them. So, Mr. Speaker, we recognize that this situation can't continue. A lot of the businesses in the hospitality sector, the hotels, the call centers, even restaurants, they have to find transportation to take their staff to and from all the businesses will collapse at enormous cost. The hospital has to provide bus transportation to nurses and so on, security guards. So we can go on and on. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm saying all of this to say that we have a significant challenge on our hand. We will tackle this challenge with all stakeholders, Labour, Employers Federation, Chamber of Commerce, the Bus Owners Association, the taximen. We have to find a collaborative approach to solve the transportation situation in Greater, because without it, the economy will not grow, it will stagnate. Our social mobility will also stagnate, and the significant traffic jam that we already have on these small roads, which were not meant for this amount of traffic, is something we also are going to have to address.
So that was our beloved Prime Minister there, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, and they're working on the whole transportation issue, right? So I think sometime this week they will be having a press conference, right? Sometime this week. I saw it somewhere about, let me look and see here. So they will have a press conference, and they will address the transportation issue. All right. When is that press conference? Addressing the person. Right, good. So the press conference is on Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. So they will be addressing the whole issue of transportation. I love that, and I look forward to hearing about that. I told you about the land regularization program. Let me feature aspects of that, because I think it's important that you know that you can be regularized and get title to government lands, once you're on for a specific period.
Occupants of Crown lands in Grenada will soon have the opportunity to secure the necessary legal documents for purchasing and owning their properties, thanks to the Land Tenure Regularization Program initiated by the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry. Set to span approximately 2 years in its initial phase, with a budget allocation of $1 million for the first year, this program aims to streamline property ownership processes for Grenadians. Mrs. Gemma Thomas, Administrative Executive in the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands and Forestry, shed light on the initiative.
In accordance with the rules, citizens who are allotted Crown lands have a period of 12 years to complete payments, with a 5% annual interest on the remaining balance owed to the state. Additionally, over the years, citizens without legal authorization and without any formal arrangements to be on Crown lands have taken up residency and have established themselves on these lots of lands, creating what is often referred to as squatters' communities. This land regularization program is designed to address this vexing issue and to provide deeds of titles on terms approved by Cabinet to citizens legally occupying Crown land.
Under the program's criteria, qualified applicants must have resided on the land for a period of 10 years or more, whether for residential, agricultural, or commercial purposes. Mrs. Thomas provided insight into the process, highlighting the associated risks and challenges.
Some of the identified risks and challenges include the lack of cooperation and even legal challenges from some landowners, informal occupants or squatters, or other stakeholders, which may delay the program implementation process. Another risk is inaccurate records, absence of land surveys or mapping errors, technical challenges with data collection, management systems, or documentation processes, and the lack of understanding of the program and thus resistance or opposition from occupants, squatters, or community members.
She emphasized the timelessness of the project and outlined its potential positive impacts, underscoring the importance of facilitating legal ownership for residents of Crown lands.
By granting land titles to people residing on or occupying Crown lands who previously held no title, the project intends to 1. Provide legal recognition and documentation of land ownership to all eligible residents. 2. Enhance land governance and minimize land disputes. 3. Promote socio-economic development through secure land tenure. 4. Foster equity and sustainability in society. And 5. Streamline and regularize land tenure processes in Grenada.
To guarantee the success of the program, the ministry plans to conduct several stakeholder engagement along with public relations, education, and sensitization forums in various communities across the island. Additionally, several field officers are undergoing training to kickstart the process in the coming months. Rena P. Thomas, GBN News.
Right, so that's a very good program because we have a lot of Grenadians they have their house or maybe farm, right? So they farming or they have their residential home, their home on a piece of Crown land. And maybe their mother or their father or their grandmother or their grandfather got that piece of land from maybe a member of parliament, maybe a previous government, but they never got title to the land. In some instances, the land was never surveyed. So they don't even have a plan, right? They don't even know where the boundary is, where it starts and stops. They don't know that. They don't have that kind of information. So what the government is seeking to do is to provide that to that person or that family so that they can have title to the land. And that's a very, very good thing. Because once you have title to the land, you can get a loan, you can repair your home, you can buy a car, you have security. You have a security. That's so, so important. So I want to commend the government for such a program, and a lot of people will benefit from this. A lot of people will benefit. Yes, you have to pay for the land, but it's not anything much. It's not anything much at the end of the day. Government lands are not sold too expensive. And after all, you're on the land, you want to make sure that you have a piece of paper, as people would say, in your hand, which says that you own this piece of land. And that's a very, very good thing. I want to applaud the government for that. That's upward mobility. That's investing in people, right? In people and making sure that you have something to pass on to your next generation, creating wealth, generational wealth for our people. That is important, very, very important, and very thoughtful on the part of the NDC administration. I want to promote some stuff here because quite a bit piling up The NDC St. Andrew Southeast luncheon is on Friday, May the 17th. Barbecue chicken, grilled fish, stew pork, vegetable rice salad, pumpkin, delivery in the town of Grenville. Right? So they delivering for people in the town of Grenville. It starts at 10:30 a.m. The cost $15. $15. All right? $15. All right. My good friend sent me that here. So if you want delivery, that's the 17th, not this Friday, but next Friday. If you want delivery, you want to make delivery, call this number 403 3935. 403 3935. Right? The Honorable Claudette Joseph sent me something here too. Right. There will be a community meeting at the Wesley College School. That's in River Road, Dabo area there, close to the stadium. The Wesley College School there at 6:30 tomorrow. All right. And she's saying they're about to upgrade the playing field, the basketball court, and the netball court near to Wesley College. Right. So we have some input from the community already, but now that we are to design the concepts for the upgrades, we wish to share those plans with the people of that community, right? So they're inviting you to that community meeting. That community meeting tomorrow being Wednesday, right? No, Tuesday, not Wednesday, Tuesday. Tomorrow being Tuesday, right? Tuesday. So remember that it starts at 6:30. 6:30. Good? So please try your best and be there. The people of River Road, the people of Dabo, people of Mount Rush, the people from that area, Cemetery Hill, please try your best and be there at the Wesley College School at 6:30 tomorrow, Tuesday, the 7th of May, starting at 6:30 in the PM. All right? The Honorable Lennox Andrew. So he has an agro-processors meeting. Be part of a discussion at the agro-processors meeting. That's Tuesday, the 14th of May. So that's next Tuesday. All right? At 3 p.m. It starts at 3 p.m. Broadcast room, National Stadium, right? That's Kirani James Athletic Stadium. All right? Kirani James Athletic Stadium. And that's on next Tuesday, starting at 3 p.m. So, all the agro processors, all the people in that field, make it a date and be there. The Honorable Lennox Andrews and his team, they will be a part of that. So again, they asking that you come out in your numbers. Your voice matters in crafting policies for a sustainable agricultural sector. Join the minister's engagement with agro-processors Tuesday, May the 14th at 3 p.m. the broadcast room at Kirani James Athletic Stadium. All right. Somebody else sent me something. Right. I think the women's arm, they have something. All right. So let me go there first. The women's arm of the NDC, they have some event. All right. Let me see. It's somewhere here. They have something coming up. Right. Let me see. Deacon of Esperance. No. All right. Here. Nice. So the St. David Women's arm, right? They have breakfast, barbecue lunch, and all day pop-up market, right? Steel pan, live music, bouncing castle. Join us. All right, let me see here. So June the 1st, Natural Works Grounds, breakfast at 6:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Barbecue from 12 noon to 5 p.m. So that's June the 1st. June the 1st. Market from 7 a.m. Shop local. All right, barbecue chicken and barbecue fish, potato salad, garden salad, rice and peas, garlic bread, $20 for that. Potato pudding, $12 for that. Breakfast, and saltfish sauce, smoked herring, fish cake, boiled eggs, bakes, fried plantains, fried cuckoo, ground provision, and local teas. Vending contribution, $35, including a table and one chair. $15 at the breakfast. Tanya log, $5. All right? So be a part of that. Be a part of that. All right. Can you advertise it for us? I am the PRR. Good. So we have that there. And my good Theo Duncan, you told me something that Jonathan Lacrette, the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette, I think they have a cruise coming up. You have some tickets and you wanted to send me that promo. Sometimes those things come in, but so much of things in my phone. All right. Sometimes I don't. All right. So please, you could resend it for me, and I would take it from there. All right. So if I miss out anybody, any event, let me know. Hit me up. Let me know, and I would promote that. I think the Honorable Ron Redhead, I think he has a Mother's Day event coming up too. All right. So hit me up anytime you have any event, any activity. Send it for me, and I would promote it. All right. Nice. So I know Bolo, he has a cricket competition coming up. It's a community event. Bolo, my good boy, big players cricket tournament, biggest win ball competition ever. Registration $500 per team. First place, you're getting $5,000. Second prize, $2,500. Third, $1,000, and fourth, $500. Dates, they're starting on Tuesday, 21st of May. And they will be at the Montrouge playing field. Prices, top scorer, top wicketkeeper, man of the match. All right. So if you want to be involved in that, you want your team to play there, call Bolo on 406-7384, 406-7384, or email them at bigplayerspromotion@gmail.com. All right. Nice. It's a community activity. So if you have any, community thing, I would, once it's NDC stuff too, I will promote it. Once it's NDC stuff, I will promote it. Right. So TU sent me that. St. George's Northwest. St. George's Northwest, that's the Honorable Jonathan Lacrette. They present DNA Cruise. Ticket $60. Aboard Rumrunner 2. Boarding time 7 p.m. Barbecue included. Wednesday, the 29th of May. Wednesday, the 29th of May. All right. So that is a good vibes. Really good vibes. Wear something white. Dress code, wear something white. All right. So music by two popular DJs. So tickets are available. I know Tio, she has tickets. So you can call this number. You can call, right. So I know I have Tio number somewhere there. So you can, I'm going to give you a number. Because on the fly, I'm not seeing a number or the outlet so you can get the tickets. All right. But I suppose for members of the St. George Northwest Constituency branch and so on. Right? Nice. So Sherry George, I promote that already. Thank you very much there, Sherry George. I promote that, so I'll continue promoting it. Nice vibes. Okay? Good. Thank you very much. So again, if you have events and activity, I mean, so far I've been promoting my event, right? Because 10 years in this business is a big deal. But the other activities, once you send it to me, I will promote it. And sometimes when I'm on air, you can send it again as a reminder. Because when I go in my phone on WhatsApp, I would see it. So even if you send it 2 weeks ago or you send it 4 days ago, once I go in my phone on WhatsApp during the program, I will see it and I'll promote it. So every now and then you should send it back so I can, be refreshed or reminded about it. That's very important. All right? Very, very important. So remember, 10 years is a big deal for me. I've been doing this for 10 years now. And on the 15th of May, that's how many days from today? About 9 days. In 9 days' time, I will be celebrating 10 years being on radio for 10 years now, radio and online, right? And we're going to go down memory lane next week because a lot of people started off with me. There are a lot of people who started listening to this program or the programs that I did, right? Because, we changed the name and so on and so forth. But they started off from the start, the real start, 10 years ago. There are still people who can boast, who can tell you that they started listening to me 9 years ago, 8 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, right? 5 years ago. And they are still with me, listening religiously. So I will be celebrating 10 years in 9 days' time. But on the 31st of May, we're going to go down to the Trade Center. The ticket sale is very slow so far, right? The ticket sale is very slow so far, but I'm hopeful that it will pick up between now and then, all right? Between now and then. So it's a bit slow. It's 50 EC for one. And if everyone who listens to the program, who follow me, can buy one ticket, then all the tickets will be gone. Those who can afford to buy 5, 10, no problem. But if the people who listening to the program religiously, home and abroad, could just buy one ticket, just one, then will be sold out. All will be done. But so far, the ticket sale has been very, very slow. But I'm optimistic that between now and let's say the 15th or now and a week before the event, hopefully the tickets will go. Hopefully. But it's 50 EC for the ticket. A ticket is 50 EC. A number of people have been, sponsoring couple tickets or giving couple tickets. Many of them say, don't give anybody. I am giving this as an appreciation towards your event, right? I have been listening to you for quite a while. I thank you. I appreciate what you have been doing for Grenada and the party and so on. And I'm giving you this $500 or this $200 or this $100 for 2 tickets. I can't come. I won't be there because I'm overseas. I'm here in Grenada. At the end of the day, it's a vibes, right? I want to thank you. I want to appreciate that. So a number of people have been doing that. Or they say, write my name down, put it on the wall, put my father's name down, put my cousin's name down, that kind of thing, right? Or your deceased father or your deceased mother who started listening to the program. I mean, yes, they're not here with us today. They pass on to the great beyond, but you're still proud of that. You discovered the program that way. So a number of people have been doing that. But I'm simply saying, if everyone who listens to the program purchases just one ticket, just one, or 10, or 5, or 3, if you can afford 5, if you can afford 10, no problem. But I'm saying it is so, so important that you buy a ticket or 2, right? Buy a ticket or 2, buy a couple tickets. And even if you can't come, buy the tickets as a form of appreciation, right? As a form of appreciation. That is what counts. That is what, it goes a long way. So I want to encourage you. The tickets are going a bit slow, slower than I thought. But, if it was $300, maybe a lot of people would buy it. All right. Or if it was $400, maybe a lot of people would buy it up. But it's 50 EC. 50 EC. Everybody, I think, could just buy one, or who could buy 5, buy 5, 10. If you can't come, if you're not going to be there, as a form of appreciation, if you want your name to be, on a seat or on that corner where, just put the name, or it's up to you. No problem. Right? But at the end of the day, again, saying 10 years is a big deal for me. And I want to encourage you to buy a couple tickets, right? Buy a couple tickets as a form of appreciation. If you could make it, make it. We're going to sell some local foods there. We're going to sell drinks. We're going to have a nice time celebrating 10 years, celebrating the moment, right? And that's what it is. It's 10 years. It's a big deal for me. I have stayed the course with you for the last 10 years. And that's important because there are people who started programs and they just disappear. But I've stayed the course and not just read your program and so on. I've done so many other things in the course of the 10 years to really boost our chances and, help us to get back there to where we supposed to be. So again, 10 years is a big deal, and I want to encourage you to buy a ticket or two or a couple of tickets if you can afford, right? It's 50 EC, and I have nearly all the tickets, right? We have a couple that went out, but the majority of the tickets I have it still, all right? There are some people who sponsor a couple of tickets and so on, which is great, right? To give towards the cause, 5 tickets, 10 tickets in some instances, 2 tickets, 3 tickets, and so on. I'm eternally grateful. If you want to donate, if you want to give towards this event, if you want to sponsor a couple tickets or so, you can do so. WhatsApp me. You know my WhatsApp number, 415-4817, 415-4817. That's my personal number, 415-4817. So to get to the venue, you must have a ticket. You will not be allowed to come to the Trade Center event without that ticket, right? Signed by me, stamp and everything like that. You will not be able to come there. So you have to purchase a ticket for $50, 50 EC, 50 EC, not US, 50 EC, and that will get you access to celebrate and to be a part of the event. All right. So even if you can't make it, as a form of appreciation, you could buy a couple of tickets. You could, you have a friend, family. I know of people coming down, or they can't come, but family members or friends coming to Grenada, and they'll give them an envelope for me, right? 100 US, 50 US, right? 100 Canadian or so. Today, a friend called me. She said, Kem Jones, link up that person. I said, no, an envelope for you. It's a 4 tickets, 3 tickets. It's another friend said, me and my good friend send 2 envelopes. The person is here in Grenada. They link up and that kind of thing. So if you can't come and you have a friend coming, you could put something in an envelope or so towards the event, right? Couple tickets. If you could make it, come. I would love to see you. We could have a wonderful time. Kem Jones is about vibes and having a wonderful time, celebrating the moment. 10 years is a big deal for me. 10 years is a big, big, big deal. I have stayed the course with you, and I am continuing on that path. And the ticket is just 50 EC, 50 EC for one, right? It's 50 EC. It's like you go in by the bar and buy 5 Heineken. 5 Heineken is about $50. $10 a Heineken, or 6 Heineken at $8 or whatever, right? So if you could afford to buy one, buy one. If you could buy a couple as a form of appreciation and so on, it's just love. A lady met me today. She said, you don't know me, but as I listen to your program, she said, hold $50. And I know what the $50 is for, towards a ticket. You see? She said, hold $50. And that's the kind of love that you get everywhere you go. I went to the bank, and while standing in the line, my good friend, Cecil, big up your wholesale, Cecil Garaway, Landa. I give you your full name. You say, boy, Kem Jones. You say, hold that. So you go, hold that, you go buy a drink on me. Congratulations, thumbs up. So I thought I was, he was going to give me a $10 or $20. He gave me 100 US. Say that's towards, your stuff. And that's the love. That's the love. And then I walked from there. I went to the next street. Another lady came up to me. She said, Kem Jones, come. Look, $100. That's 2 tickets. You see, that's the kind of love, right? That we get out there once you stay the course and you remain focused and you understand the mission. So again, I'm saying, the ticket sale is a bit slow, but I'm not worried. I'm never worried about that, right? Nearly all events, it's like that. Grenadians are somewhat last minute, but I believe that the tickets will go, all right? I believe that you would buy 1 or 2 or 3, a couple of them. You would sponsor a couple of tickets, and you would take it from there. I'm not worried at all. All right? I trust you. I believe in you. And I know you would come true for me. All right? So, folks, take good care. Peace and love. I'll be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, again, as we go on that journey. We have to continue the journey, huh? We have to continue the journey.